Hello everyone. Now let us see third numerical for the Nyquist plot. Here we have open loop transfer function, and we also want to determine the stability for the closed loop system using Nyquist stability criteria. So already I told you in previous numerical, first we have to draw the Nyquist contour or Nyquist path or S-plane contour according to principle of argument. Means Nyquist path does not pass through the singular point or does not pass through the pole at the origin or poles on the j omega axis of open loop transfer function. And one thing is also there, we will choose Nyquist contour such as it encloses the entire right half of S plane, including the entire j omega axis. So here Nyquist contour we can define in S plane, and we know in S plane horizontal will define sigma, vertical will define j omega. According to open loop transfer function, we have one pole at the origin. Means Nyquist path does not pass through the singularity point or does not pass through the pole present at the origin, or Nyquist path will bypass this singularity point. So we have Nyquist contour or Nyquist path like this. So this is section C1, suppose, section C2, section C3 and section C4. Here we have omega, or you can say here we have value minus j infinity, here we have value j infinity, here we have value minus j0 minus you can say minus j0 minus, and here we have value plus j0 plus. Larger semicircle will define a semicircle of radius infinite, or you can say radius r, as limit r tends to infinity. A smaller semicircle will define a semicircle of radius 0, or you can say epsilon, as limit epsilon tends to 0. So this is Nyquist contour, or you can say S-plane contour, or you can say Nyquist path. So in next step we will map all sections of Nyquist contour from S plane to GH plane. So let us consider first section C1. So along section C1 we can say that S equal to j omega, and omega will vary from 0 to infinity or 0 plus to infinity. Now define open loop transfer function for S equal to j omega. So we have gj omega hj omega equal to k over j omega square plus j omega plus 4, or you can write it as k over j omega 4 minus omega square plus j omega. That's why magnitude becomes k over omega under root 4 minus omega square power 2 plus omega square. 4 minus omega square power 2 plus omega square, this is magnitude, Similarly, we can define phase angle according to 0 minus for j omega 90 degree, and it is in a denominator polynomial, so we have minus 90 degree minus tan inverse omega over 4 minus omega square, or you can say minus 90 degree minus tan inverse omega over 4 minus omega square. This is second equation. So from first equation and from second equation we can draw the plot according to magnitude and phase angle for omega equal to 0 and for omega equal to infinity. So first for omega equal to 0, from equation first magnitude becomes infinity. Phase angle from second equation we have minus 90 degree. For omega equal to infinity we have magnitude 0 and we have phase angle minus 180 degree. Now let us see how we can draw the plot, or you can say polar plot, according to different values of magnitude and phase angle for different values of omega. In GH plane, horizontal will define real of GH, vertical will define imaginary of GH. This is 0 degree line, minus 90 degree line, minus 180 degree line, minus 270 degree line. But if we will see open loop transfer function, we can say we have type 1 system, order 3 system. Type 1 system means number of pole for the system present at the origin. Order 3 system means total number of poles we have 3 for the given open loop system. And already I told you for type 1 system we will start polar plot from minus 90 degree line, and for order 3 system polar plot will end in second quadrant, because fourth for order 1, third for order 2, second for order 3 system. So we have polar plot like this. Here we have omega equal to 0, magnitude you know infinity, and angle you know minus 90 degree. And here we have magnitude 0, omega equal to infinity, angle minus 180 degree. So this will define mapping of section C1 from S plane to GH plane. Now let us consider, first consider section C3. So for section C3 we have S equal to j omega, and omega will vary from minus infinity to minus 0. Similarly for section C2, radius is infinite, so we will put S equal to limit r tends to infinity r e to the power j theta, and theta will vary from 90 degree to minus 90 degree. For C4 we have S equal to limit epsilon tends to 0 epsilon r e to the power j theta, and here theta will vary from minus 90 degree to plus 90 degree. So first we will see mapping of section C3. So along section C3 we have S equal to j omega, and we know omega will vary from minus infinity to minus 0, or you can say if we consider S equal to minus j omega, omega will vary from infinity to 0. Omega will vary from infinity to 0. So we have g of minus j omega, h of minus j omega equal to k over minus j omega minus j omega power 2 minus j omega plus 4. So magnitude we have k divided by omega under root 4 minus omega square power 2 plus omega square. Because second term we can write as minus omega square. So real part becomes 4 minus omega square. And middle term, or you can say second term, will remain same. Similarly, we can write phase angle according to 0 degree, and here we have minus j omega, and you know for j omega we have phase angle 90 degree, and for minus j omega we have phase angle minus 90 degree. But this term we have in denominator polynomial, so phase angle becomes plus 90 degree, minus tan inverse minus omega divided by 4 minus omega square. 90 degree minus phase angle for tan inverse minus omega over 4 minus omega square we can write with the help of 360 degree minus tan inverse omega over 4 minus omega square, or we have minus 270 degree plus tan inverse omega over 4 minus omega square. So this is a phase angle equation, you can say second dash. This is magnitude equation, you can say first dash. Because for tan inverse minus omega over 4 minus omega square we have y, we have negative value for y, and we have positive value for x. So we have point in fourth quadrant. Already I told you in previous numerical, that's why actual value of angle for second term becomes 360 degree minus tan inverse omega over 4 minus omega square. So phi becomes minus 270 degree plus tan inverse omega over 4 minus omega square. Now let us define value of magnitude and phase angle for omega equal to infinity and for omega equal to 0. So for omega, first for omega equal to infinity, because in section C3 omega is varying from infinity to 0. That's why first we will consider omega equal to infinity. From first dash magnitude becomes 0, phase angle becomes minus 180 degree from second dash. For omega equal to 0, from first dash magnitude becomes infinity, phase angle from second dash we have a value minus 270 degree. Now let us see how we can draw the plot according to given values. This is real of GH, this is imaginary of GH. This line will define 0 degree line, minus 90 degree line, minus 180 degree line, minus 270 degree line. In previous numerical already I told you, second will define mirror image of the first plot, because in first we have s equal to j omega, omega from 0 to infinity. In second we have s equal to minus j omega, omega from infinity to 0. So plot for the second is a mirror image for the first plot, or you can say first will define polar plot, second will define mirror image of the polar plot with the reverse direction. So we have diagram like this. Here we have omega infinity, magnitude 0, phase angle minus 180 degree. Here we have omega 0, magnitude infinity, phase angle minus 270 degree. Now let us see mapping of section C2. Mapping of section C2. In previous numerical already I told you how we can map section C2, or how we can map a semicircle of infinite radius from S plane to GH plane. So here mapping will remain same, there is no change. So for section C2, mapping will remain same as per previous numerical. Mapping will remain same. Mapping will remain same as per previous numerical. Or you can say, for section C2 in S plane, we have a semicircle of infinite radius, but in GH plane we have a point at the origin. So here we have magnitude 0 and we have phase angle minus 90 degree to plus 90 degree. Already we calculated in previous numerical. That's why here I am not showing any calculation. So you can say C2 in S plane is mapped according to a point at the origin in GH plane. Magnitude 0, phase angle minus 90 degree to plus 90 degree. Now let us see mapping of section C2. Section C2, mapping for section C2 already we have seen. Now let us see mapping of section C4. So along section C4 already I have told you it is a semicircle of 0 radius. So how we can map C4 from S plane to GH plane? We can map according to S equal to limit epsilon tends to 0 epsilon r e to the power j theta, and here theta will vary from minus 90 to plus 90. Theta will vary from minus 90 degree to plus 90 degree. Now let us see how we can define GH for S equal to epsilon r e to the power j theta. We have value limit epsilon tends to 0 k divided by epsilon e to the power j theta, epsilon e to the power j theta power 2 plus epsilon e to the power j theta plus 4. So here you can neglect epsilon e to the power j theta power 2 and epsilon e to the power j theta as compared to 4, because here epsilon goes to 0. So we have limit epsilon tends to 0 k divided by 4 epsilon e to the power j theta. So here magnitude becomes k over 4 epsilon as limit epsilon tends to 0, and we can define phase angle with the help of e to the power minus j theta. So we have phase angle minus theta, and you know theta will vary from minus 90 degree to plus 90 degree. So here phase angle we have from 90 degree to minus 90 degree. So we can write magnitude according to limit epsilon tends to 0 k over 4 epsilon means infinity. Phase angle we can calculate according to e to the power minus j theta. So phase angle becomes theta, and you know theta will vary from minus 90 to plus 90. So here we have phase angle from 90 degree to minus 90 degree. Suppose this is first double dash, and this is a second double dash. That means we can say we can map section C4 from S plane to GH plane according to semicircle of infinite radius, and phase angle will vary from 90 degree to minus 90 degree. Now let us combine mapping of all four sections, means for section C1, for section C2, for section C3 and for section C4. After that we have GH plane contour, or you can say Nyquist plot. Horizontal is real GH, vertical is imaginary GH. Plot 1 already we have discussed, we have drawn. Plot 2 already we have drawn. Now let us define direction. Similarly for second, let us define the direction. And for section C2 we have a point at the origin in GH plane. For section C4 we have a semicircle of infinite radius. Phase angle will vary from 90 degree to phase angle will vary from plus 90 degree to minus 90 degree. Now define direction. Direction means from 90 degree to minus 90 degree. So we have clockwise direction. So this is my Nyquist plot. But problem is that to define the stability for the system according to Nyquist stability criteria, first we will define critical point minus 1 comma j0. But here we don't know this value. So how we can define critical point will lie inside the first closed path or outside the first closed path. Suppose this is first closed path, this is second closed path. So how we can decide? So to calculate this value, suppose this value is A. How we can define value of A? According to magnitude equation from plot 1, or you can also define from plot 2. So here I am calculating A according to plot 1, that means according to first equation. But we know the value of omega at this point. Suppose value of omega at this point be omega 1. Suppose this is origin, means 0, and this point is suppose A, this point is suppose B. So at B point we can calculate value of omega 1 according to phase angle equation or according to second equation. So this is 0 degree line, you know, this is minus 90 degree line, this is minus 180 degree line. So you can say polar plot will intersect with minus 180 degree line. So you can calculate value of omega at point B according to phase angle equation. And you know, from second equation we have a phase angle minus 90 degree minus tan inverse omega over 4 minus omega square. We have value minus 180 degree because plot will intersect minus 180 degree line. So we have minus 180 degree. If we will simplify, we have omega over 4 minus omega square equal to 1090 we know infinity means 1 over 0. So we have omega equal to 2, means omega 1 equal to 2, because frequency is always positive. So omega 2 radian per second. Now we can calculate A according to magnitude equation. We have magnitude K over omega under root 4 minus omega square power 2 plus omega square, and here we have omega equal to omega 1 means 2 radian per second. So let us calculate the value. After simplifying, we have value, I think it is k by 4. We have value k by 4. So we have this value k by 4, and we have omega equal to 2. Now let us say we have critical point. Let us say we have a critical point at point A, or you can say inside the first closed path, or you can say how it is possible if minus k by 4 is less than minus 1. How I am writing minus k by 4? Because this value we have in left half of S plane. So we can say if minus k by 4 is less than 1, you know k greater than 4, and in this condition you can say critical point. Critical point means minus 1 comma j0 will lie at point A, because k is greater than 4. If k is greater than 4 means critical point minus 1 comma j0 will lie at point A, or you can say inside the first closed path. So here n becomes 2. N becomes 2. How we can say n becomes 2? Because n means number of encirclements. N means number of encirclements of critical point made by Nyquist plot of open loop transfer function. So minus 1 comma j0 first will enclose by a smaller closed path, and minus 1 comma j0 will also enclose by larger closed path in clockwise direction. So we have n equal to 2, number of encirclements of minus 1 comma j0 by Nyquist plot of open loop transfer function. We have 2, because दोनों की डायरेक्शन क्लॉकवाइज है. मीन्स यू कैन से इनर क्लोज्ड पाथ भी minus 1 comma j0 को इनक्लोज करेगा, और minus 1 comma j0 आउटर पाथ से भी इनक्लोज होगा. दोनों की डायरेक्शन क्लॉकवाइज है, इसीलिए n की वैल्यू कितनी होगी? 2. अगर n की वैल्यू 2 होगी, आप z की वैल्यू फाइंड आउट कर सकते हैं, बट यू हैव टू नो वैल्यू ऑफ p. p ऑलरेडी आई टोल्ड यू. p मीन्स नंबर ऑफ पोल्स for open loop system in right half of S plane. We don't have any pole for the open loop system in right half of S plane. So we have p equal to 0. So according to Nyquist stability criteria, we know we have n equal to z minus p. We have n equal to 2, n equal to z minus p, n equal to z minus p. P we know 0, So we have z equal to 2, means we have two poles for the closed loop system in right half of S plane, so system becomes unstable, but it is for k greater than 4. Now let us see second case. If minus k by 4, this is my second case, this is case 1. If minus k by 4 is greater than minus 1, k less than 4. If k less than 4, we can say minus 1 comma j0 will lie at point B. Will lie outer side of a smaller circle as well as outer side of larger circle. So we have a critical point outside the first closed path and also outside the second closed path. Means in this condition we have n equal to 0 because minus 1 comma j0 is not encircled by first path as well as from second path. So in second case we have n equal to 0. We know we have 0. So according to Nyquist stability criteria n equal to z minus p, we have z equal to 0, so system becomes stable under condition k less than 4. n equal to z minus p will define Nyquist stability criteria, or mathematical presentation for Nyquist stability criteria. This is also a Nyquist stability criteria. Thank you.